Good morning, all of you. Today we will start our class with a topic manometer. Manometer is a device which is used to measure liquid pressure. What is liquid pressure? It is the pressure exerted by any liquid. So, this is the whole system of manometer. It is a wooden block. This is a U glass test tube, open on both ends. This is scale. This is a rubber tube, and this is a thistle funnel. What we have to do, the liquid which we have to fill in this manometer is the liquid whose pressure we want to determine. So we will take liquid in a beaker, and then we will start pouring the liquid in this U tube glass via this thistle funnel. So we will fill the thistle funnel, and the liquid will come through this passage via tube, and it will come inside the U tube. And in this U tube there will be a time when there will be a difference in the height of liquid. This is arm B and arm A, and this is arm B. Okay, so this arm of U tube is arm A, and this arm is arm B. So whatever difference in the level of this, you can see the difference in the level of liquid. This difference in the level of liquid determine the pressure of liquid. Now observation is arm A and arm B. What is the height of the liquid in arm A? It is H1. What is the height in arm B? It is H2. Okay, so by arranging all the system and after putting the liquid in this tube, we can see a difference, and this difference is required to conclude. So observation is H1 and H2, height in arm A and height in arm 2, and conclusion is whatever difference is there, H1 difference H2 or H1 minus H2, this is a sign of difference. So difference in the height, whatever difference is there, that is the factor which is required to find the pressure of liquid. So from here we concluded that pressure is directly proportional to height. That means whenever the height of liquid column increases, the pressure also increases. So the pressure of liquid is determined from the difference in reading of two scales. And what is the H? What is H? H is the height. So what is manometer? Manometer is a device which is used to measure liquid pressure of any liquid. Okay, so yesterday we discussed that pressure also depends on density of liquid. So if the density of liquid is high, then it will exert more pressure. Now next topic is Pascal's law. Blaise Pascal was a very famous physicist who gives us Pascal's law. He observed that when you fill any incompressible liquid, incompressible means something which you cannot compress. By applying force you cannot compress the molecules of the liquid. Okay, so that is incompressible liquid. And confined means it should be there, it should be contained in a vessel or a container. Okay, so that is confined, that is there should be no open boundaries. So Pascal's law is that states that whenever a pressure is applied at any point in an incompressible liquid, okay, at any point means pressure increases with height, okay, it decreases or increases with height and depth. That the relation we will discuss later, how where it increases and where it decreases. So at a given height, all the points will have same pressure. That means they will experience same pressure at the same height. So that means whenever a pressure is applied at any point on an incompressible liquid and confined liquid, incompressible also and confined also, it is transmitted equally in all possible direction with undiminished magnitude. Undiminished magnitude means the magnitude of force which we have applied, that will be distributed equally among the molecules of liquid, and that it's not like that one molecule will have a force of 10 Newton, other will have 5 Newton. If the force of 10 Newton is applied, then each and every molecule will experience a force of 10 Newtons only. Second topic, verification of Pascal's law. So we will do it with the simple observation. Aim To verify Pascal's law, material required: a long necked round bottom flask with holes in the different directions. Second, airtight piston arrangement. Here this is a piston. Okay, this is the piston handle. This is a piston which is fitted in the round bottom flask neck. Next is beaker with water. We have three materials: a long necked glass flask with number of holes in different direction, arrangement of airtight piston, and beaker with water. What we will do, we will fill the liquid in the flask, and then we will put this piston here. We will make the arrangement so that it becomes airtight. Then we will start pressing this piston, and as the piston is moving downwards, what you will observe, that water starts coming out from different holes. Water will start flowing out of these different holes at different direction. And what we observe that water flows out of all holes uniformly. Uniformly means in all the direction the amount of water coming out per second is equal. That is uniform. With same force, that is, if we are applying 10 Newton force above, then each and every molecule is experiencing a force of 10 Newton. Conclusion: Pascal's law verified. So by the given arrangement and observation, we have verified Pascal's law. And the whole system of round bottom flask with a long neck and a piston with so many holes, this whole apparatus is also known as Pascal's apparatus. Now, consequences of liquid pressure. There are consequences of liquid pressure also, as we have consequences and advantages and disadvantages of pressure exerted by solids. So number one, the basic point is liquid pressure increases with depth. Because liquid does not have fixed shape, so it will take the shape of the container it is contained. Point number one, walls of dams are made thicker at the base to withstand enormous amount of lateral pressure water. Why lateral pressure? Because the wall is on the side of water column. The water is stored in dams with a huge gates, and there is a passage of gates from water flows from one direction to other direction. There is a reserve of water which is confined in a particular area with the help of walls. So walls of dams are made thicker at the base because liquid pressure increases with depth. So as we are moving down in water, there are layers of water. Okay, so there are layers of water, so they will have, every layer of water will have pressure, and pressure will increases with depth. So if the walls are not thick at the base, then the dam will break due to this enormous amount of pressure of water. Number two, deep sea divers have to wear special suits to prevent themselves of being crushed by high pressure. As water pressure increases with depth, when we dive in sea or water, what we experience a force in our body. And because we are having a specific surface area of a body, so force exerted by liquid and our body area will make us experience a pressure on a body, because formula of pressure is equal to force upon area. So force is applied by water molecules on a body, and you have seen that when you dive in water, you have two cases: either you will dive head on, or you will float on the water. When you float on water, your area becomes more, surface of contact becomes more, so you can easily swim in water, you can easily flow in water. But when you are diving in, then only the first part which comes in contact with the water is your head, so you dive more inside water. Now we are talking about deep sea divers. Deep sea divers have to wear special suits so that they are not crushed, because it is so high, the pressure is so high, so there is a chance of that they will get crushed by this force. So they have to wear special suits. Third, water supply tank. In cities or places, we have seen that water tanks are very, like, they are situated at a high building or at a top of very high places. Even at our homes, we put our water tank at our roofs, because when water flows down, then it will have high pressure and it can reach out the maximum distance. If it is not placed at a height, then it will not have that much pressure, and it will not move that much fast and not available to everyone. So to make the whole system work without any machine, then these tanks are placed at a height. Because of height, they will have potential energy also, and with the help of that potential energy which is stored in water tank, water will come out from the tank with high pressure. Now last point is pressure exerted by gases. As we have seen, pressure exerted by solids, then pressure exerted by liquids. Third topic is pressure exerted by gases. This pressure exerted by gases is known as atmospheric pressure. What is atmosphere? A 300 kilometer layer of various gases around Earth, which is held by gravitational pull of Earth, and it exerts force. We know that each and every molecule in universe is attracted with each other due to mass of the different bodies. There are so many different celestial bodies in our universe. So each and everything is exerting force on each other. Because Earth is also a heavenly body, so it also exerts a gravitational pull on each and every object, even it is a object of negligible mass or a particle of negligible mass. They exert pressure on it, and the force is also there, and that force is gravitational pull of Earth. Around our Earth, we have a specific feature that it is surrounded by an envelope of air which is 300 kilometers thick, and due to this 300 kilometer thick layer of air around us, we also experience a pressure on our body, and this pressure is known as atmospheric pressure. Now atmospheric pressure is the force exerted by atmosphere per unit area of surface of Earth is called atmospheric pressure. That's all for the class today. Have a nice day.